morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning with Tina and
Dick.
Hey, there we are. So happy to see you. We've been working on this for about 14 months, and but here we are today with the Franklin County Buzz, the Morning Buzz. And we're going to have a call later on from John Woodall. He'll tell us about the condition of the roads. And also later we're going to have Gene and Joy Snead. Gene is a city councilman, city of Winchester, and county commissioner, District 1, I believe. And Joy runs the Knowledge Nook, right, and a teacher of sorts. And then we've got Linda Ayers coming in to talk about a huge community workout. I could use some.
Me too.
Yeah. So we have weather this morning, Michael, we can look at and give everybody a fair warning what's out there. Oh, can I get a warmer day?
So the temperature right now is 21. It's partly cloudy. Expecting a high of 44, which isn't too bad considering the last few days.
No, and I gather that in the future it'll look better, but we bring you weather every morning on our Facebook page, so we'll bring back this weather about every 15 minutes in case we got some people that are jumping up, grabbing coffee, and heading out the door to go to work. I hope you have a great and a safe day. Yeah. We're also going to find out from John Woodall what construction and road work is on in the county. And we've got some meetings coming up.
We do. We have 3 today and a couple tomorrow. We have today. We have Coffee County schools are out. Moore County and Cannon County are out. Of course, Franklin County's in. We missed all of the excitement whenever the snow came in. It just completely missed Franklin County.
I know. We saw those great pictures from Manchester and Tullahoma and not Franklin County. Well, some of Franklin County got a dusting.
Yeah, a little bit, but none of the traffic problems they had. Even in Manchester, it was really bad. But Murfreesboro through Nashville, disaster.
We don't live in the big city. We don't have big city problems, although our traffic has become quite an issue here. And later in the show, we'll be showing you some of the traffic issues in both the city of Winchester and out Decherd Boulevard toward the $1 Million Mile, I call it.
Right.
So the meetings, County Health Insurance, Retirement, and Welfare. That's at the Courthouse Meeting Room 515 this evening. Board of Education is at Clark Memorial this day at 5:30.
And that was changed. So initially they had it set for 6:30. So if you have that on your schedule, 6:30, it's changed to 5:30.
Getting earlier, getting ready for the sunshine to come and fishing season to start, or something like that. The board, Decherd Board of Mayor and Aldermen. As a matter of fact, before we go to the Decherd Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting, which is 7 o'clock tonight, let's take a look at the last meeting that they had. There's some interesting dynamics taking place between the two Smiths on there, the Mayor Robin Smith and Alderman Carl Smith.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is appointment of the city administrator. This time, I'd like to, according to the codes, place the name of Rex Clark before you, the city administrator, at a salary agreed upon by the Aldermen several months ago, $47,500. I hear a second to that. Motion to that recommendation.
Motion to approve.
Who's coming back? All right, we're having some audio and play problems. We're learning this as we go, and Michael says it's something to do with streaming is taking up too much information.
Yeah, we're streaming live to you guys on Facebook and on YouTube. So this is obviously the first time we've done this. So got a lot to learn.
So now we know we can't stream 2 or 3 different things at the same time.
Right.
So what I'm going to try to do is cut off the stream to YouTube. And then if anybody's watching on YouTube, it looks like we've got 1 viewer right now. Just go to Facebook and catch the stream there.
Okay.
It'll be archived after that. So I'm going to
Awesome.
kill this.
Sounds
and
good to
see if
me.
the playback
I think we're
works.
going to try again.
All right, and I'm going to throw it back to the clip and see if that works.
Hang in there.
Your book of codes, your handbook, he is not qualified.
That's the charter overrules the handbook.
What are you talking about?
One of the qualifications, he is not qualified.
What?
Well, explain
A
it.
degree, a degree.
He has a Bachelor's of University Studies degree, which is the same thing as public administration in Murfreesboro at that time.
No, it's not.
It was at that time.
No, it's not. It's not what Murfreesboro has on their website as the degree.
In 1988.
It's not what it's,
In 1988.
it's not what's on there today.
You can't go over today.
Okay, but that's it.
Okay?
Well, I want to say that he don't have the experience. And you've done made a motion because you got with it quick there, didn't you?
No
And
motion,
that's
sir.
all right, but I was gonna make a motion. So go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Well, before
But he don't have the experience to be a city administrator.
I call 23 years in management at Prescott Bottling Company, quite a bit of experience, Roy.
What was he managing? He wasn't managing a city.
35 employees.
Well, I don't
call
care
it.
what, it
Well,
wasn't a city.
This is a up and down
You know
vote
what
on
we
this.
went through, you know what you went through, and, and do you think he can handle it?
Wouldn't nominate him.
And why are you putting us back into that? And another thing, you are not supposed to hire a city administrator when you've got one already on the payroll, and you've still got one on the payroll.
Effective, I left that out, but I'll add that if it's all right, January 4th. But we've got to have an administrator.
Well, you've got him, you told him to leave, you can handle it.
how many months has Mr. Foster been on the payroll?
That has nothing to do with this.
It does, he's still on the
He's
payroll.
still on the payroll, and according
Yes.
to the,
And this one will not be put
Handbook
on the payroll to January 4th.
Well, he's already on there, he was writing his name down, you was giving him $200 a month.
Mr. Smith, he
Did
has
you do
received a check 1 month,
Yeah, and we disapproved.
and that's the only one
And boy, did
he's,
you have a duck.
because it was in the budget, sir. That has nothing to do with it. Does anybody want to call for the question?
As far, hold on,
Call for the
I
vote?
don't care what you do.
Dennis, call for the vote.
Don,
They
you
have a
told
right to
Robin
question.
that you
Robert's
weren't
rules
gonna
of
be
order, they
here.
have a right to question.
No, not on
That's
this, this is an up and down vote.
No, it's not.
right.
Don,
They
We've
have a
done
right
hash
to
this.
question.
We've done hash.
Robert's rules of order, they have a right to question.
He's called for the question, and Don seconded.
we're not gonna
We're
do
gonna
that.
vote on the question.
absolutely not. Don,
Don,
you told, no, you hugged.
Flossie, am I
No.
going by Robert's rules and order? He's called for the question, and there's been a second call for the question.
No.
We have to vote on to stop debate, am I
You're
right?
ramming this through. You're ramming
Call for the
it through.
question is a call for the vote.
Well, that's good. You get the lawyer over here every time you want somebody to back you up on something. That's great. What a mayor.
There's
Don,
supposed
you
to be a
told Robin
discussion.
that you weren't gonna be
Dennis.
here at when we had these interviews.
Dennis,
And
I
you
called for the
came
vote.
in, no, you ain't calling for the vote. And you came in, Don.
Carl, you're out of order.
Oh, I am out of order.
Call for the vote.
Don, you came in, you came in when we had one,
Mayor Smith,
Aye.
Alderman
you don't
Clark.
vote till there's a tie.
No, I do not. The mayor has a right to vote. Right there.
No, I
It does
gotta
not say,
vote.
it does
The
not,
lowest
it
gotta
does
vote.
not say a
You
thing about
there's
a
a
tie.
tie, and I'm gonna break it.
Right here, there's nothing about a tie in there. I have a vote to vote any personnel matter,
What a
Carl.
joke you are.
Carl,
You are a joke.
are you gonna
Call
vote
for
or
the
not?
question.
Are you gonna vote or
I'm
not?
not gonna vote
Finish
on
that.
that. Me and Roy won't vote.
Nay.
Nay.
Alderman Smith.
Motion carries 3-2.
And how in the world, Dennis, how in the world can you spell Dottie Smith, D-O-T-T-I-E-S-M-I-T-H?
It was a
She's here, we don't have to worry about that.
Number
That
two.
shows how much you check.
Number 2.
I'll follow. Never mind, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
Number 2. Appointment of city judge. We've had 2 people to volunteer for that. One is Janet Songer and the other Robbie Davis. What's the will of the...
Have you checked her out, is she, are they qualified?
They're lawyers. That's what they gotta be. Flossie said either one of them would be, and so did Clint Swafford.
Well, Christopher, I'm glad you're gonna be the mayor
If
once
they are,
again.
if
Carl, let me just tell you something.
Sit down,
You will
Chris.
not talk about my father like
Sit down,
that.
Christopher.
Oh, I'll talk about him any way I want to.
Michelle, give me a policeman right now.
I'm done with you. I'm sick of you, Carl
I've never
Smith.
had anything to do with you.
Kenneth, I want him escorted out of here.
Carl, let's go
Yes.
down.
Carl,
I'm not gonna say anything.
okay, he wants you gone, so come up on me if you don't mind. I'm gonna try to be nice to you.
Oh, other words, just be,
You're acting ridiculous, Carl.
no, you're the one that's acting ridiculous. What a joke.
Mr. Davis, has anything been done illegal?
Beg your pardon?
Conducting this meeting?
I'm sorry, I couldn't,
Has anything been done wrong in conducting this meeting so far?
not so far. I hadn't heard all the votes yet.
Well, let's vote.
We've done voting.
Mayor Smith, do you want to stay around or you want him to go?
Well, what does the lawyer say?
If he can sit up here and make outbursts to everybody,
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything more to you. I've already said.
I'm talking about the
Okay.
public, Carl.
Huh? In other words, you're denying me, the vice mayor, to sit up here for the rest of the meeting.
Acting the way you are.
I told you I wasn't gonna say anything more to you.
Then sit down up here.
Well, thank you.
Next is appointment of the
And that's how it went at the Decherd Board of Mayor and Aldermen in the month of December. And they are meeting again tonight at 7 o'clock. An update on that, by the way. Rex Clark is working as city administrator at Decherd City Hall. And he's the former manager with Robin Smith, the Big Daddy Sports, which is now going out of business. They had their closing sale Saturday, and then they're going to open again this coming weekend. Rex was manager there, and now he's full-time at the city of Decherd as administrator. And I don't think we've heard the last of Carl Smith on this episode, because Carl and Robin have been feuding for 3 or 4 years. And it's always entertaining to go to the Decherd Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. They'd love to see you there, especially if you're from Decherd.
And that's tonight at 7.
Tonight at 7, and we'll be there to see if there's a chapter 2 to the saga of the Smith boys. They're not related, by the way.
Right. Well, there's also a meeting tonight, Winchester City Hall, City Council meeting at 5.
Yep, 5 o'clock.
And that's today. That's tomorrow, actually, right?
Oh, let me put I can't think when I'm staring into a camera.
I'm getting my wires crossed because I know we have 2 meetings coming up tomorrow.
5 p.m. Tuesday, and then the County Long Range Planning Committee is also 5. Oh, that's at Thursday, Long Range Planning, County. So that'll wrap up the meetings for this week. Well, we've got the schools, but on the schools, one of the struggles that the board is dealing with is what to do about middle schools. When Dr. Lonas came here a year ago, she one of the first things she did, she went to South and commented about the buckets that were lining the halls, capturing water that's coming in. That building's been leaking. I've been a reporter here since 1991.
It's been leaking ever since.
It's been leaking ever since. Almost every year they have to spend money to fix the roofs, and that's one of the things that led Dr. Lonas and the board to explore renovating the 2 middle schools, North and South, And well, I think we've got her talking about that. Michael, why don't we run the Dr. Lonas piece we've got?
Can do. We'll get it lined up.
So that was a concern. So as a result, I approached the board in August and asked that we establish a committee to look at those two schools specifically, to see what we wanted to do with them, because we've done some patchwork over the years. A couple of years ago, my understanding is that we actually re-roofed those facilities, and yet that we're still having that kind of an issue. So there's a real concern there that just patching it is not going to take care of the problem long term. So the committee was put together. Stanley Bean is chairing that committee. He's the principal at North Middle School. So they are meeting. It's principals, teachers, parents, students are all on that committee, as well as a school board representation. And they have met now, I think, 3 or 4 times. They meet once a month. And last month, when they met, they actually met with an engineering firm, Oliver, Little, and Gibson, OLG, that's out of Tullahoma, and basically asking for some help in doing this study, because, you know, when we look at those buildings, we don't have the expertise internally to be able to truly determine what needs to happen to those facilities. So OLG is going to be meeting with that committee every month. Our next meeting is on the 11th of February. It's at 6 o'clock at South Middle School. And they will meet with that engineer just to start the process of determining what are the needs currently in those two schools, and what would that cost us to get those two schools up to code and fix the issues that exist in those two. Both of them are 50 years old. And so it's hard to believe, I know. But those buildings are going on 50 years of use, and that's hard use with that many students going in and out every day. So we really want to take a hard look at what would it take to upgrade those two to get them to where they're up to the code and we don't have those kinds of issues that we're having right now, versus what would it also cost us if we decided to consolidate and build a new facility. What will happen is, in the summertime frame, that committee will take their recommendation to the school board. What would be the best thing for us to do as we progress? Would it be to retrofit those two existing facilities or look at building a new facility?
So the total, what is the student population of those two schools? About 1,200?
About 1,200. There's a little over 600 at North and a little over 400 at South. So together we're looking at about 1,200.
About 1,200 students. We had a comment a little while ago, Tina.
Yes, we have a comment from Karen Owens. She said it would be nice if the Huntland School could get air conditioning in the gym before we worry about building new schools.
A little competition, but that's really probably a pretty important thing to ask for.
Very valid point. And by the way, we'd love to hear from you. So you can call us at 222-5388 or comment on Facebook like Karen did. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, call now. We've had, they had 3 town meetings. Stanley Bean, former principal at North, and now he works in the administration for student issues and special projects like this. Stanley and a group of teachers, a group of parents, and students from the 2 schools met 3 separate times. It wasn't a big turnout. They had about 40 at the first 2 meetings and 60 or so at the last meeting. And at the last meeting of the Board of Education, the committee itself, which had been looking at 2 different programs. One was to renovate the 2 schools, which would have been about $17 million each. The other was to build a new school in property that's very close to Franklin County High School, 40-acre tract there, and they would build a large school that would hold the 1,200 students. When the community came out to the town halls and other discussions were made, the committee came out with a 3rd proposal that would see the school system build 2 new middle schools on the existing properties and incorporate some of the facilities that are new and not in bad repair, so that they would have I think the gymnasiums would stay, speaking of gymnasiums.
Right, and a couple of the new classroom pods that they built.
Yes.
We're not going to just toss
They'll
those
keep
out.
those. And so they're factoring in a lot of things. The board wants to get this in front of the county commission as they deal with the budget between now and the end of June so that they can get started on the 2 schools.
Right, otherwise we have to wait till the next fiscal year.
Well, yeah, and this is going to take about 2 years to build them or renovate them, whatever they do. And there's some really good arguments for all of these things. The arguments about, well, we've got smaller schools and that's more homey and
Right, you get more individual attention.
yeah. Well, they say that. With the larger school, they have more opportunities for other things like a chess club or a choir or a jazz singing group, something like that. If you've got some ideas of your own, give us a call at 222-5388. We won't be fancy. We're going to use our smartphones to capture your voice, but we'll be happy to hear from you. Or you could post on our Facebook page. We're watching it right now, and we can see if you have any comments to make.
Timothy Warren commented, he said he thinks it would be best if they put all the middle schools into one school, just like the high school. So that's just one opinion. We've heard a lot of different things from parents, and they listen to students and teachers as well at the town hall meetings, and so we really don't have any clear indication of which way they're leaning at this point.
No, I almost think the money will dictate it. As in an earlier news report, we talked about this new school where they would build a new north and a new south, created a Goldilocks moment. That the board is going to say, well, this one is really low cost and this one is really high cost because the 2 schools would come in at about $55 million.
Right.
And so we'll take the middle road, which would be the $35 million single school. This is a terrific age for these kids. They come in out of the elementary school and they essentially mature right in that school into a young adult.
Well, and I think one of the things that parents expressed concerns about was the mingling of children when they're at these very different age groups. So coming into 6th grade, you're much less mature than 8th grade when you're heading into high school next year. And so there was some discussion there, but they're going to have 3 separate divisions, I guess, so they won't really be mingled in that much.
No, and there's, as I say, there's advantages to both. I almost think that the 1,200 students, we would get more counselors, and indeed they may very well get more attention with the 1,200.
Right.
And by the 3 pods that they have outlined, that the engineering firm has outlined, the 6th graders will stay in their, each grade will stay in their own wing.
Right. Other than when they come together for, I don't know, what do they do, the pep rallies and those kind of things.
They are building, the plans call for new auditoriums for both schools.
Okay. Well, I think one of the things that's also, we're talking dollars. If you do 2 separate schools, you have 2 separate upkeep for the duration. So, I mean, that also adds to the bottom line.
Well, and if you're going to talk about the bottom line, if they exercise the $35 million same new school project, then North Middle School property will be available. And one realtor told me that a $10 million price tag on that property out there at North wouldn't be unreasonable, would probably bring in more money than that. So that's a factor that the board is probably going to consider when they start talking about their bottom line.
Absolutely.
And I think it's fair to add, we did have an interview, you'll find it on our YouTube page under Franklin County Buzz, with Andrea Smith. Tina had the interview with her. And you talked about the cost and how healthy the county was to handle this kind of debt.
Right. Andrea said that we were in great shape right now and that this would be a good time to go forward with this project. So, you know, I trust Andrea. She's always been pretty forthright with us. So hopefully it'll be fine, and we can, if they go with the one school, we can sell some property and pay for a big chunk of that.
Yeah.
So, I know that, you know, everybody's always concerned about the bottom line and if we're going to have to raise taxes to pay for this or that. So I guess we just have to wait and see where they go.
Well, let's see if Huntler can get an air conditioning out of the deal. They might put a little pressure on the board to get that gym air conditioned.
It's probably not a problem right now.
No, no. But that's something to go in the future. Our phone number here is 931-222-5388. And I want to remind you that at 7 o'clock, Gene and Joy Snead will be here to talk about.
Yeah, and we're going to take another look at the weather. Michael was
let's
kind
see
enough
what
to
that
throw
is.
this back up here for us. We have no precipitation, so that's great. It's 21 degrees, still too cold for me. We're supposed to get up to 44 today, so I'll believe it when I feel it.
Wasn't it supposed to be 35 when we last showed the weather?
I think that was yesterday. Yeah,
Well,
we may need to refresh that because it is
You know-
Tennessee. It could be 60 today.
We're chilly now, but the seed catalogs are rolling in, and within about 8 weeks, we're going to have farmers out there planting crops. So, and wheat's coming up in most of the county. We did get a little water, which helped.
Yes, we definitely needed the rain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we are with the drought. We need to do a follow-up on that, but hopefully that helped us out.
All right, so then also later, Linda Ayers of Mass Appeal will be here talking about the public body pump. She'll be here at 7:30. And Michael, let's run that little 4th of July piece we had. Bring a little heat into the room.
That's right.
All right, I'll see what I can set up. I can dig it out here. All right, here it comes, Dick.
Dime si puedes ver por la luz del amanecer, con orgullo granizamos lo que brilló en el anochecer, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, well, that always does this to me. I don't care if it's not the 4th of July or not. Fireworks are a spectacular way to celebrate the 4th. And that was not Estill Springs, by the way, if any of you were wondering where that's from.
No, but it brought the light with it. Yeah, we've seen the sunrise out here.
That's excellent. Oh, and it's pretty out, too. If you've got some sunrise, well, we can't
Photos?
take pictures, can we?
Well, I'm not sure. That would be a Michael question.
Take pictures from right
you
here.
could give us a call at 222-5388 and tell us that the sun is shining if you'd like.
Well, we will take the pictures. We'll always post them up on Facebook. I don't know if we can do them live up here or not, but we will be able to soon.
Yeah.
If somebody sends
well,
something in, we can try to set it up. I have to do it on the
Okay.
fly, but I think I can pull that off.
So you're not looking for it now, are you, Michael?
No, I can't do nothing. I don't have anything
Okay,
to
well,
set up.
we're gonna get into a little traffic, which many of our Franklin County people are out and about right now, and you've all been stopped at one light or another light, and you probably wondered why it is you can't get to shopping and back because of the traffic. Excuse me. We did a piece. I'm sorry.
I just say this morning when I came in from Tullahoma, the lights in Decherd were all flashing.
Flashing, yeah.
So,
I've not been up this early in quite a while.
Yeah.
But fishermen and hunters and working people, they know about those flashing lights. We did a piece on Winchester traffic that you've already seen, and then we followed it up with a piece on Decherd Boulevard. Excuse me.
on the million dollar mile, as you call it.
$1 Million Mile. But right now, let's see the Winchester traffic and give you an idea of what we're talking about.
Features Decherd Boulevard and its $1 million a day economy. For The Buzz, I'm Olivia Ayers. Features Decherd Boulevard and its $1 million a day economy. For The Buzz, I'm Olivia Ayers. The Franklin County Commission set out to bring industry to the county in the 80s. The goal was to provide jobs for their kids and shoppers for their stores. Hello everyone, I'm Olivia Ayers for The Buzz. We begin a series on traffic in the county with a look at Winchester, its county seat. Traffic in Winchester collects in the square, where about 9,000 cars and trucks a day merge without much trouble. 7,000 enter and leave the square by way of South College Street, and 5,500 from North High. East and west traffic enters the square from the Davy Crockett Highway to the west and the Dinah Shore Boulevard, the east. Those numbers don't add up. Some are coming and some are going, and TDOT only provides totals. Road repairs or construction can change the mix. First Avenues northwest and southwest are still to be paved. That's the last of the Downtown Winchester Corporation's major projects and completes renovations around the square that begun years ago. Another construction project about to be complete is the roundabout. The circular connector brings together traffic on US 64, State Route 16 or Rogap Road, the Davy Crockett Highway, and now the George Fraley Parkway connecting with the State Road 50. These highways bring about 9,000 cars a day to the roundabout, plus the local traffic generated by the County Justice Center and Jail, Emergency Management, National Guard, County Health Department, Southern Middle Tennessee Pavilion, County Agricultural Extension Offices, and the county's Solid Waste Department. The transition has gone without much incident, save for one individual who apparently didn't get the message. To or from the square via the roundabout is now a fixture for drivers. But continuing out of the square east comes the Posey Bridge construction project. Traffic from north and south have now combined for a total volume of 16,000 cars and trucks a day. That's one every 5 seconds, and with traffic doubled in the now 2-lane road and traffic cones taking up part of the lane, it's close quarters. Just a few blocks from the end of the Posey Bridge is the Cowan Bypass. This eastbound Dinah Shore traffic will merge with some of the 9,200 cars and trucks a day and 22,000 strong head into Decherd as it crosses the Wagner Creek Bridge. Our next in the series features Decherd Boulevard and its $1 million a day economy. For The Buzz, I'm Olivia Ayers.
Thank you, Olivia. That was an interesting little piece, and we used our new drone on that, which lent a lot to it.
Right, and most of that's finished now. You said there's a few cones left on Posey Bridge. But
Posey Bridge,
otherwise-
that was a problem it was a year ago that they started that bridge project.
Right.
And there's still some cones on it. There's some minor finish work, but all 4 lanes across the bridge are now open. We talk about the $1 million a day economy of Franklin County. This is what generates sales tax revenues for all the municipalities and for the county. So in part 2 of our traffic, which has not been aired, this is the first time you'll see it, Olivia takes us to Decherd Boulevard and on out that way, and we'll talk about that traffic.
Industrialization in Franklin County is starting to show up on our roads, streets, and highways. Hello everyone, I'm Olivia Ayers, and this is part 2 of a series on traffic in the county. In part 1, we saw traffic on Winchester's Dinah Shore Boulevard, the Davy Crockett Highway, Cowan Bypass, and of course, the Winchester Square. Today, we look at Decherd traffic starting here at Wagner Creek, the dividing line between the two cities. This bridge is where Dinah Shore Boulevard ends and Decherd Boulevard begins. There's more than 3 miles of businesses on these two boulevards, and shoppers spend almost $1 million a day and generate almost $1 million a month in sales tax revenues. The money is a significant factor in budgets for county government and the 5 municipalities. Almost 1,000 cars an hour go up and down this road, stopping in local and chain stores to drive our economy. At the intersections of Sharp Springs Road, 41A, and State Route 127, or the Lake Road if you prefer, those 1,000 cars an hour spill onto those 3 roads. But while in the vicinity, these vehicles and their drivers are spending money for goods, services, and even newer used cars. By any measure, these firms mean business, and good business means less pressure on property taxes to pay for government services. There are traffic issues common any time you get more than one driver on the road, and traffic control isn't as good as it could be. Decherd is responsible for traffic control and signals, and doesn't always have the revenue to pay for enhanced lighting or other safety features for its roads. But these 3+ miles continue to host businesses that bring tax revenues to local government, and to them, that's a big deal. Next, a look at Cowan. For The Buzz, I'm Olivia Ayers.
So there's the cash cow riding up and down that boulevard.
Right. During the break, you and I were talking about the roundabout. There was a lot of discussion when that was being built about how people don't know how to utilize that. But so far, we haven't heard of any disasters. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think of the new roundabout? I've seen some people driving just around for fun. And good morning, Jeanette. She said hello to us on the Facebook page.
Well, good morning to you, Jeanette. Thank you. So, yeah, that the traffic issue, Decherd annexed all the way to the Winchester right-of-way along 41A, or Decherd Boulevard, as it's called in town here, and which meant that Decherd's totally responsible for traffic safety on that mile. And if you'll notice, all the streetlights on Decherd Boulevard are all on the Decherd side. There's none on the Winchester side, which is odd in my view.
Right.
So, but they wanted the revenue from traffic violations.
So we should hold them to keeping those upkept and safe then.
Well, and those traffic lights, Decherd has to hire somebody from either Nashville or Chattanooga to come down here and replace the lights if we get a light there. And that's pretty expensive, so they don't always fix them until they maybe have 2 to fix. And it would be encouraging if Decherd and Winchester could get together and share that road and share the costs and give everybody a better shopping experience and maybe make more money come in out there.
All right. Well, I mean, you share the bounty, but you also share the responsibility. So maybe the way to go. So we've got, what time is it?
Well, and staying on traffic just for a minute, they are about to finish a new road that was paid for by the Tennessee Department of Economic Development, not the Department of Transportation, to facilitate Nissan employees getting in and out of the plant in Decherd onto the various roads. And these drivers are creating new pathways. Traffic engineers say, well, this would be the arterial and these would be side roads. But when you're trying to get to work at 8 o'clock or whatever time you go to work, you're going to find your own way, the one that's quicker and has less stops to it. So a couple of Decherd streets are just getting swamped with a lot of Nissan traffic and creating a problem for neighborhoods. You can't always get 2 cars on a Decherd street.
Right.
I mean, going the opposite directions. Right. We hear that there's going to be another road built that would connect Nissan Powertrain Boulevard to Blair Pond Road on 41A.
Okay.
And so some people are talking about that. TDOT won't admit to it because I think they're still buying right away and they don't want the prices to go up, although I don't think that's a real issue.
Yeah, I would love to hear from, I'm sure they're at work now, but some of our Nissan viewers, just let us know what it's like trying to get to and from work.
They take some mighty slim streets. I was a television producer in Nashville when Nissan came to Smyrna. And at that point, I had covered Smyrna on several of the stories I had done. And just about a month ago, I went to Smyrna deliberately to drive around and see what had happened to that town since it started its construction, I guess, about 1981 or 82 that Nissan moved there. And Smyrna, that was a long time, 36 years ago. But you wouldn't recognize Smyrna at all. And that same thing is going to happen here, probably in that same time frame. So we can look forward to lots of traffic and we're going to discover what mistakes we're making in terms of how people get where they want to go, because they'll find their own path. They don't wait for an engineer to come down and tell them what street to drive on. So, and when next we said we'd go to Cowan. The cities are going to be less traveled, of course, but those feeder roads are very important to the total transportation picture. And at some point when we get John Woodall on the show,
Johnny, he's been trying to call us, and my phone has zero signal in here. So maybe we need to give him a call on your phone?
Yeah, John, I'm sorry, please use 615-962-3345. Yes, he sent me a text.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
he commented on our Facebook page, and so thank you, John, and we'll get in touch with you.
and I've turned my volume up so I will hear the bad to the bone. It's my ringtone. I'm not going to apologize for it. So yes, John is he's out every morning about 4 or so. The transportation workers in Franklin County work 4 10-hour shifts, so they get an early start, and he could tell us what those roads are. I assume that all are clear. We've had a dry night.
Here's John calling now.
And here he is. Hello, John.
Good morning, Dick.
So talk to us about the roads.
Well, it's cold this morning, we know that, and we sort of missed a good snowfall that happened over the weekend, and I enjoyed every bit of that because we didn't have to use none of that $100 a ton salt. So it was pretty good, but yeah, we did miss just a little bit of that, and in the northern end of the county, we got, a little bit of precipitation on the roadway, but we had all that of ours cleared up right after lunch, so it did pretty good, but Dick, what we're wanting to let everybody know this morning is some of the places that we'll be working on today. One is on Wise Lane, and Swanee will be putting in a tile up there that's going to inconvenience a couple of people, and they will be notified this morning before we start. We also have the long arms out over in the Green Hall area that's going to be cutting brush along the side of the roads to keep all the limbs and stuff, get the buses and stuff there. Years it goes by, and since the foliage is off, it's easier to see and make sure we don't mess up anything too much. So hopefully we'll be getting that done. And also we're going to be working on Watson Cemetery Road. That's one of the roads that's in the roads program for this next year to be redone. Actually, what we're doing is going in and facing that, putting rock on it, grading gravel, and we'll be working on that through the rest of this winter on up into the spring till we take and get ready to tar and chip. And we got a Mason Everett Road that we're going to be working on also in Horton Lane, off to the left just past Broadview. So we're going to be working in all those areas. If anybody's out in the way out there, just be sure to watch for the guys that's working, because, machines is out in the road, and these guys is having to do their work, and they try to have a lot to do just watching their machines and stuff, what they're doing without having to dodge traffic. And also, we got a lot of shop paint that's going on right now that we're working on up in our shop, for the get all of our equipment and everything ready for the spring, or tractors and stuff for mowing. Of course, like I told them, I said, we dodged a bullet with the snow, but every day that's pretty and it's not bad is one day closer to spring. And you and I love springtime because that's gardening time. So that's good there.
Yes.
we have a lot of stuff going on, dude.
Yeah, you do. And what about bridge work? Any bridges that you're working on right now?
Yes, we do. We have one out on Neal Road that is closed. I did go out Thursday and visit with the guys down there, Herbert's Incorporated, that's doing that job. It's probably going to be closed about another, probably anywhere between 30 to 60 days, just according to the weather right now. And we got another bridge, I guess over next to where Ray Judge's gun shop used to be on the road over there. We're working on that one over there and got it closed. It should be opened up probably sometime about the same time. They actually started these bridges at the same time, so they should be completed about the same time.
Well, congratulations to all you guys at not only the road department for getting out on cold mornings like this. We appreciate your work, and be safe all the time.
We will, Dick, and just to make a comment about the roundabout that's out there in the end of the county going towards Huntsville, I enjoyed every bit of going around that. A lot of people got discouraged about it when it was being built, but I believe now that they see it and see how it operates and everything, it's really going to be an asset to the community out there. And if everybody will just remember that all a roundabout is a courtesy red line. So, you know, if everybody will just sort of let people move in and out and keep everything going that circular motion and not get no great big hurry, you move through the intersections fine. So, hope everybody enjoys it.
Well, some people enjoy that roundabout. I've seen several people take 2 or 3 trips around it before they exit. So,
well, I think a lot of them just enjoy going around it, I think is what it is. Of course, Tina, I'm sure she knew how to go around it. She's been around a bunch of them before. So, yeah, she did.
Okay, John Woodall, Highway Superintendent for Franklin County. Thank you, John, for the call, and be safe today.
Dick, thank y'all and for what you're doing for the county. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
John. Thank you. Well,
thank you again, Johnny. And just to kind of reiterate, kind of keep an eye out for the guys on the side of the road. We just had a big, a funeral for one of the TDOT workers that was killed recently. So just keep an eye out and be mindful of those workers. We had a comment from Brittany Lovelocks asking about a bridge on Medina. So we may need to get with Johnny and see if we can get some information about that. She says it's really scary. You can't see if someone's coming from the other direction. So.
on the tunnel under Medina Road?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, I'm familiar. That's how I get home from many places. And she's right. It is very dangerous. But once again, it's just, you don't go through that 1-lane tunnel at 35 miles an hour.
Right.
Because Williams Road is just on the other side of it, and then Medina Road. So you've got 2 lanes of traffic coming if you're heading north on Medina toward Decherd.
Well, you don't go through it at 30 miles an hour. It doesn't mean the other person's not.
I stop, and then I go through about 5 miles an hour because I don't want to get head on with anything. So.
We really appreciate the comments coming through. You're welcome to call if you want to be on the air, but comments are great too. And thank you everyone that's been watching and commenting. And thank you again, Johnny, for commenting on here. So we saw that you couldn't reach us.
Yeah. And so now, Tina, we've had some pretty interesting stories, for lack of a better word, interesting stories that generated a ton of traffic on our Franklin County Buzz Facebook page.
Yes, we have. But before we get to that, we have our guests are coming in. Do we want to go to our guest before?
I don't know what time it is because I don't have a clock.
It's 6:55.
6:55.
I was going to ask you guys.
Well, we've got about 4 or 5 more minutes. Actually, let's get out now. We're going to take a little bit of a break and listen to Emi Sunshine, who performed at the Cowan Fall Heritage Festival. And then when we come back, we'll have Gene and Joy Snead in here on the set with us. Well, hello everyone, I'm Dick Wolf. In a few minutes I'm going to be sitting down with Emi Sunshine and the Rain. They're standing behind me. But before we get into the interview, we want to give you a chance to hear what this young woman can do on the stage. That was Emi Sunshine and the Rain rehearsing for their gig here at the Fall Fair Heritage Festival in Cowan. And with me now is Amie herself. Thanks for joining us and taking a break from your rehearsals.
Oh, you're welcome.
You excited to be in Cowan and put on a great show for us?
I really am. I've been here before and I've loved playing here, so I'm glad I got back. I'm glad I got invited back.
Yeah. I told you that I watched some of your videos last night, and I think you're doing a really great job. You're a young person, and you seem totally in control of that group. Is that your band?
Yes, it's my band.
And they're kin.
Yep. On drums is my Uncle Bobby. Then on mandolin is my brother John, and then on bass is my dad Randall.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you. The earliest recording that I saw, you were 9 years old, and I'll go back to that in a minute. But when did you know you were going to be a performing artist?
Well, I've always just kind of sang around, and I've always wrote small songs when I was little, and I've just always kind of went taken after my great grandmother, my grandmother, and my dad. So
a musical family, and you're proof of it. I know that you write a lot of your music with your mother, Alicia.
Yeah.
And Fisher, is that a family member as well?
Well, no, he's not a family member, but he's one of our really, really good friends. He writes with us a lot. He wrote a song called Sinner's Serenade with us.
I was going to ask you about that very song.
Yeah, and then there's another song he wrote with us. We call it Strong Arm Robbery. He wrote that one with us. So all the stuff he writes is really, really amazing. So it's an honor to get to write with him.
Oh, I can, and probably vice versa. He's probably thrilled to hear from you. Your songs are kind of a mix. Sometimes you hear a little religious in them, and sometimes you hear a little social commentary. Where does all of that come from? Because these are deep songs. They're not kid stuff.
Well, I guess I just think about some of those kind of things, and just kind of comes to me, you know. It's nothing that I just have to think about, like just having to make myself think of. It's just something that, oh yeah, my mom was telling me about American Dream, and I wanted to write a song about that. She told me about the American Dream, and I thought to myself, that would make a really good song. Yeah. And then it just kind of.
And Sinner's Serenade, that's a narrative song. There's a lot of story going on in that.
Yeah, it's a very redeeming song too, I think. I think it's something that I never write songs like that. That's way out of my comfort zone. And I usually write killing songs, murder ballads, and never anything like that. So that was way out of my comfort zone, but after that I just thought, I want to write more songs like that, you know?
Yeah, you sure didn't look like you were out of your comfort zone. And going back to that earliest thing that I saw when you were 9, it was a Janis Joplin song, Me and Bobby McGee.
Yep.
Later in some of your videos, I saw a little reference to Porter Wagoner. So, who influenced you as a musician when you were growing up?
Well, there was a bunch of people. You know, it's hard to name all of them. But some of my inspirations now, I can hardly remember anymore. But I think it was Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton. Matt Woods, he's a newer artist. He does Americana music, I would call it, and he's really awesome. Look him up if you can. There's a bunch of people that are amazing, but haven't really gone big yet, you know.
Yeah. Well, and you seem to be in the process of going big. I see you got a bus. And,
yeah.
And you travel with your family. So is this your ambition and your life's calling to be a musician and play the music?
Yeah, it is.
How do you get your schooling?
Well, my school is just it's homeschool actually.
Homeschool?
Yeah.
You can do that in the bus?
Yeah, it's pretty easy actually. I go through a Christian school and I get my books and I just film that, and then just every year you can wake up whatever time you want to, do your school whenever you want to. As long as you get it done, it's all that matters.
Boy, and that fits in with your schedule. And speaking of that, I know that you're going to have to leave us soon because you've got another interview coming up, and plus you're going to be on the bandstand stage here this evening at the Fall Heritage Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank you for joining us and giving us these few minutes, and wish you great success in the future. And I want to tell our viewers that if you'll just stay with us in a minute, we're going to hear and see more of Emi Sunshine and the Rain at their rehearsal here in Cowan, Tennessee. And welcome back, everyone. That was Emi Sunshine performing at the Cowan Fall Heritage Festival last September. Very talented young lady. And speaking of talent, I'm sitting here on my immediate left with Joy Snead, married to that handsome devil on her left, Gene Snead. And good morning, and thank you for getting up and sharing our first program with us.
Absolutely, we're excited. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Okay, well, I invited you, Gene. You're a county commissioner. You're a Winchester City councilman. You've been active in politics as long as I've known you. So what's your ambition? And well, tell us first of all, about why you're doing all this.
Well, I got on the city council when Richard Stewart was the mayor of Winchester, and of course, Richard and I have a history of. I played football for him in high school. He was our linebacker coach, and it was in 2001, and we talked about it, and he said, "Yeah, you ought to run," and so I did, and since then it's just been a lot of fun. We've had, as you know, you've covered us most of that time. Since then, we've had a lot of issues, good and bad, but we've had some good things to happen, and Winchester's share of the sales tax is up significantly. And it's continuing to go up due to the fact that we've kind of revitalized downtown and attracted some new businesses to that district. So that district's sales tax has increased dramatically, and we look to be able to continue to improve the city and move forward, always wanting to provide the best services that we can. People pay taxes. They want good services, and we try to do the best we can on that. So then, of course, the county, as most folks know, Mother was a commissioner for 3 terms.
Also a Gene Snead.
Also Gene, Jean Gene, and she decided she didn't really want to be 80 turn 80 in office, so she decided to retire, and I decided, well, it's a Winchester seat basically. District 1 is basically half of Winchester, and I thought, well, I'll run for that. And we had Councilman Bobby Sharber, Commissioner Bobby Sharber had a dual role at one time, so it was not a unprecedented thing to work in both legislative bodies, and I've enjoyed it, and there really hasn't been that many opportunities to have conflict between the two since I've been involved. I'm sure it could happen, and you would have to, ease out of one or the other, but in some votes possibly, but that hasn't come up for us, and so I've been able to contribute to the county commission, I think, and the city council both. I've enjoyed it very much.
Well, I want to get back to that, but I want to get, because there's a lot, you covered a lot. And,
yes.
And there's some changes ahead for Winchester. But Joy, you opened the Knowledge Nook. I guess you're in your second year now. Did I hear you say that?
This is my second year, yes.
So tell
It's
me,
a baby nook.
First of all, tell us, what is the Knowledge Nook?
The Knowledge Nook is sort of a dream of mine. It's an art studio and a place where I can help kids with art and other things that they have needs for, after school help and stuff like that.
So, so are you a certified teacher?
I am. I taught a long time. I taught at Good Shepherd School for 21 years.
Yeah,
so.
and that was sad that they closed that.
Yeah, it was very sad for me because it was such a huge hunk of my life, 21 years.
Yeah.
But, painted on the door at the Nook is a saying about how when God closes one door, He opens another. So if it didn't happen that way, I wouldn't have the Nook, which is a total dream of mine, was to have my own studio. So
I've been seeing you have an active Facebook presence. The Knowledge Nook does.
Well, it's thanks to Gene.
So he's the tech guy?
He's the tech guy, yeah.
Well, but I see that you offer much more than reading. You offer art. You deal in classic literature.
I love the history and literature in the arts, but I have a girl named Jessica who does all the help with the math, because a lot of kids, math is there.
A lot of parents have issues with math.
Well, I just pass them over to Jessica when it comes to math, but she's really good. She's young and fun, and the kids can relate to her, I think. So it makes it easier on the kids when they see who it is that's going to help them with the math,
So where are you located?
We are in Mr. Parrish's shelter insurance building in the basement of there.
Well, and that's located where?
Oh, well.
Right next to Taco Bell on the boulevard.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, on Knoll Street.
On Knoll Street,
okay.
yes.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Now we can place it.
Yellow door. I'm the yellow door. Yeah.
All right. And this is so summer school. Do you have summer school classes?
During school, we help kids after school, but I also have homeschool kids that come during the day. Most of the ones that come to me do art lessons with me, but I have some that I help with their writing. But after school, we have kids that come. But I like to offer camps whenever the schools are closed, like on spring break or fall break, Christmas break, and in the summer, different camps that we offer to keep, just to keep kids doing stuff.
Busy,
and,
yeah.
Keep their minds busy and stuff, which is not, computer game oriented.
Yeah, is that a problem with kids? They go for their smartphones all the time. Do you have to fight them, or?
Well, not so much at the Nook, but because we have no computer at the Nook but mine, because I don't want them on the computer. But yeah, I mean, I just see so many kids that just. I mean, I know it's the time frame that it is, but that's what kids do. But there's so much more out there than just that.
Yeah. Well, and it's important to have another source such as you provide.
Yeah, they get their hands dirty, and you know, at the Nook we make huge messes, and that's fine with me because you know that's what I like to do. So a lot of parents don't like messes, you know, in their house.
Listen, if you have kids or kittens, you're going to have messes.
So you know, I give them a safe place to make a mess.
So you mentioned that this was a lifelong dream or a dream of
Yes,
yours?
because I am a self-taught artist, and I am very interested in promoting my art and getting kids interested in art, because I think art is a springboard for all kinds of other things they can do in school, even math.
Well, and you've got science to back you up. Dr. Lewis Thomas has written about that. There's a Pulitzer Prize-winning book called Gödel, Escher, Bach by Richard Hofstadter that talks about that very thing, that art and music make you a smarter person because you...
just so many different aspects of your brain that you tap into when you're involved in art. And I also would like in 2017 is to get adults interested in art again, because so many adults, they put up the wall. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do that art, you know, and it's not true. It's just not
You
true.
can too.
You can. And so I'm trying to offer more classes for adults that they won't be afraid, you know. I have a girls' night out that I try to do every month, and we're started a Bible journaling class on Wednesday mornings, and I just want to push that art out there to adults because it's a good thing.
You talk about art, and I know you somewhat as an artist, but as a photographer. So
Yes,
are you talking about a different art than photography?
Well, I do love my photography, and I actually have kind of pushed that to the side but I want to get back into it. But yes, the Knowledge Nook is my baby for children and learning and tutoring. But I have a new branch that comes off of the Knowledge Nook, and it's called Purple Chameleon Art. And that's where I want to take my art out to shows and fairs and stuff like that. It's painting and the photography and painting and drawing, just all the aspects of my brain there
So you
plopped out.
So you have a pretty good time at your job.
Oh yeah, I love it. I play all day long.
Well,
I play in the paint, and the clay, and
we should all have jobs like that.
Yeah.
How does that compare with your job, Gene?
That says, well, right now I'm a substitute teacher, substituting every day at Franklin County High School that's available to me, and just being around the kids is a good experience. She's doing art, but she does academics with the ones too that come for homework help and tutoring, and substitutes don't get a whole lot of leeway to do a whole lot in the classroom, but we get to be there and do some classroom management and be with the young people, and it's, I can relate to that part of it for her.
And while we're still on the subject of Gene and Joy and kids and things, do you turn to Joy to talk about some of the issues that you're dealing with as a legislator for Winchester City Council and for the County Commission? Is this your sounding board?
Well, we talk about things. She's not as interested in some of those things. Like a lot of people are not very interested in the subject.
Mean garbage pickup isn't interesting?
It's something about that, But now I do have a 12-year veteran of the County Commission that, Mother moved in with us 5 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we converted our garage into a suite for her, and she's got her own separate entrance.
Oh, you've got great
can be as
counsel
independent
then.
as she wants. But Mother and I discuss a lot of the political type stuff that's going on. That's usually my sounding board more than anybody else, I'd say.
Well, then I'd like to get back. Thank you, Joy, and
Okay.
jump in anytime. But I'm going to talk to Gene for a minute or two about some of this political
good.
stuff, and let's stay with the County Commission.
Okay.
It's been notoriously nonpartisan for as long as I've been here. It seems to be getting a little partisanship is entering the door.
Yeah, well, of course, when they were all Democratically held seats, it was nonpartisan. It was only one party was represented. But more recently, the Republican Party has gotten active in Franklin County over the last several years, actually, and they have won several seats. I think they have 6 or 7 seats out of the 16 now. There's two seats are held by independents. Myself and Mr. Goodman are both ran as independents and have been elected as independents. So it's actually because there is the second party represented, it becomes more partisan at times. That's true. The county spends a lot of money for primaries for each party, and I'll just tell you, Dick, you and I have talked about this. In my opinion, there's no need for partisan politics at the county level. I think we could operate just fine without paying for expensive primaries that cost the county a lot of money. Just who wants to run, let them run, and what difference does it make if you're a Democrat or a Republican at
Or
the county
independent.
or independent at the county level? I'm independent because I can't wholly relate to either party. I just can't do it. I can't. I look at see that's what happens. Even if you're at the county level and you're a Democrat or a Republican, the only thing you have to look to really is the national party platform, which, as you know, 99% of the national party platform has nothing to do with what we do in Franklin County legislatively. So it's like, why do all that, But so I'm independent. I really don't relate with either group very well on their national platform, if you will. But I have been able to work with people of both parties always, and that's what I mean. People working with people is what it's about.
Well, and at the county commissioner level, that's exactly what you do. You work with the people.
Right.
What committees are you on with the county commission?
I'm on the long range planning committee, which is a committee that traditionally was sort of one of those that a lot of people didn't know exactly what to do. How do you do long range planning? What does that mean exactly?
I can remember Eric Stewart asking me that very question one day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric served and did a great job, but the long range planning commission or long range planning committee, what we're looking at right now as far as long range planning is specifically the retail industry. Winchester has an initiative working with a consultant to recruit retail to the area. The Chamber of Commerce does a great job recruiting retail to the area. Cowan, Decherd, Estill Springs, and Huntland all do their piece of it, but you don't see Winchester and the Chamber and Estill and Decherd, and you don't see them all working together necessarily in any kind of unified front to recruit retail. There's always, Winchester wants the retail to come to the Winchester city limits because that generates sales tax for Winchester, and Decherd wants retail to come to the Decherd city limits because that makes sales tax for Decherd. The Chamber they're just trying to get retail to come to Franklin County, and really we need to take that broader look at let's get retail to come to Franklin County. From the Winchester perspective, honestly, I hope they come to Winchester because that's more sales tax for Winchester. But if they come to Decherd or Estill or Huntland or Suwanee, Cowan, they're coming to Franklin County, and the county benefits from those sales tax dollars as well. And by bringing in more retail, you offer more for your citizenry. In a lot of ways, if you have more opportunities for services and retail, the quality of life goes up. So one of the initiatives that the Long Range Committee is doing, we've invited all of the city administrators and the Chamber of Commerce to sit down with us this month and to look at the overall strategy for recruiting retail to Franklin County. And our hope is, as a long-range planning committee, that we can sort of help figure out what that is, long range, what the direction is going to be, how we can help each other to do that. Not really sure exactly what's going to happen. To my knowledge, we haven't had a lot of meetings where we've invited all the different city administrators and the Chamber of Commerce to sit down together and talk about a common goal, which is retail recruitment. So I'm looking forward to it.
You talk about, what a great idea it is to bring in that retail. We just had a piece a few minutes ago about the $1 million a day economy, because that's generally just about what Franklin County businesses are generating right now.
That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. That's neat. Yeah.
And when it hits $1 million, we're going to have a big story on it because we're watching those figures, and it is getting close. It's over $800,000, and that means a lot to communities. We get thriving businesses, but what about traffic? Our streets and our roads, and especially our county roads, are in dire straits. Revenues from both federal and state have been getting less and less and less each year.
Makes it tough.
And so what does the long-range planning committee look at infrastructure like roads and bridges?
That's something we need to look at as well. Part of the issue there is, as you mentioned, state and federal funding has come down, but the cost of the asphalt and the materials at the same time has gone up markedly with the price of oil. And then there's in Winchester's situation, in the city limits, Decherd, Cowan, Estill, Winchester, there's also the federal regulations of the ADA, Disabilities Act, which stipulates that if you pave a road, city street in Winchester or Decherd or Cowan, you have to bring that road up to ADA compliance, which speaks to the angles with which the road goes to the sidewalk, the fact that there has to be a sidewalk, how wide the sidewalk needs to be. There's a lot of city streets in all of our towns that there's not even enough right-of-way to do what ADA requires, which means to pave a city street, in some cases, you would actually have to buy property from property owners that may not want to sell their property to you. That kind of stuff going on.
These are growing pains.
These are growing pains. And so that's another part of it, though, that just, now instead of, paving a street, you've got to do all these other things, with the curbing and the sidewalks and the egress and all that. So that complicates it. As a committee, of course, with the new session, we just started in, I guess it was October with new committee assignments, and we haven't talked about that infrastructure yet, but certainly that's something that we should be looking to address as well.
Yeah, I think the General Assembly is probably going to take up the issue of taxes for road monies because they're running out.
Yeah, they've talked about, they haven't increased the gasoline tax, I think I heard them say, in over 25 years. At the state level.
Personally, I think it would be a tragedy just to raise the gas tax because somebody can go out and buy an electric car and thumb their nose at all the gas guzzlers that are paying for their roads.
Gas tax, yeah. Well, you got cigarette smokers paying the tobacco tax and gas guzzlers paying the gas tax. And they'll think of something for the electric people, I guess. I don't know. Yes. But traditionally, that's where a lot of the revenue for the roads comes from is gasoline taxes.
And on the city of Winchester, there were some wins and losses. For the first time in years, taxes went up, quite a chunk at that, 20 cents. And you lost the Dogwood Festival.
Yeah.
That had to have been a tough bullet to bite.
It was. I was on the tourism committee, and Beth Roten and I kind of put the whole idea of having a festival forward and came up with the idea of the Dogwood. And we did 12 of them, I believe.
Yes.
And then we decided not to do that. The Dogwood Festival had from the very first year had a very large budget.
Well, this was when Jimmy Crownover was city administrator, was it
When-
not?
when
Yeah.
He was actually, well,
Oh,
actually he
planning.
was city planner.
Yeah.
Had been moved from the city administrator to city planner. In the legislative body before I was elected,
Yeah.
made that move.
Right.
But as I was saying, the Dogwood Festival, the goal has always been to meet the budget with income from the festival and offset, so that you really didn't lose anything, you really didn't make anything, but you provided a great opportunity for your citizenry to enjoy themselves and a great opportunity to do recruiting. After all, it has played a role in that. But it was the council felt that the city share, which the $20,000 budget piece of it is one cost, but the city also incurred the cost of all their employees working a lot of overtime
Yeah.
to make it happen. And so, our hope, and we talked about it, is that somebody will want to privatize the Dogwood Festival, maybe a civic group, maybe another private entity. If you recall, High on the Hog was a city event.
I remember that.
Started out as a city event.
I remember the two that started it.
Yeah. And High on the Hog grew to a certain point. The city divested of High on the Hog, just as they've done with the Dogwood Festival. The Kiwanis Club stepped in, picked it up. It's bigger and better than ever.
And
Since
it's funny that
Kiwanis
you
is-
should bring that, because
Yeah.
in a minute we're going to talk about I'm going to talk about High
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Hog, but I promised to get you out by 7:30, so I'm going to try to keep
I
my
understand.
promise.
Yes, sir. I ramble too much. I'm sorry.
No. I brought you here to ramble.
Okay.
You talk about revenues and sales taxes. I mean, the property tax was
Right.
increased. You've got a huge development coming in there at Twin Creeks Marina.
We do.
That's going to be a home run with the bases loaded as far as property tax revenues is concerned.
I think so. We're really excited about it. It's been something that has been in the works for a long time. They've been talking about building a marina at Dry Creek since before I was on the commission or on the council. Okay, so it started a long time ago. And there's been ebbs and flows with it, but basically at this point, just to bring everybody up to speed really quickly, this month, January, we expect TVA to give the permit to the developers that we have a lease with, or has a lease with, or they have a lease with us. I'm not sure how you say that, but anyway, their permit will be forthcoming this month. This is something that TVA wants to see happen on their properties. This is something the Winchester wants, obviously the developers want, and I think the people want. So it's a win, as you mentioned, for everybody, going forward. And they're going to do it the right way, and it's going to be something that we can all be proud of in Franklin County, I think.
Well, let's hope that every official that's out there has that same kind of thinking about
so.
their community. Gene and Joy, thank you very much for coming by this morning. You talk about High on the Hog. This year will be the 30th High on the Hog here in Winchester, Tennessee. And the Kiwanis Club is already up to their ears and working on it to make it happen. So let's take a look at last year's High on the Hog. And when we come back, I think we'll have another guest here in the studio to talk about working out. We'll be right back.
A squadron of hungry judges filled the Citizens Pavilion at Winchester City Park to taste anything but at the High on the Hog's 29th birthday bash. Winchester City Park, host site for the annual competition, never looked better, sporting the winged swine. Mayor Terry Harrell was a fellow judge, along with FC Director of Schools Dr. Amie Lonas, several longtime sponsors of the Kiwanis Club Annual Festival, and many others certified for the big-time KCBS competition Saturday. It's truly a complicated process, as points earned here go toward capturing the Kansas City Barbecue Championship. This judging of desserts, sausages, and wings is a completely blind tasting conducted by the Kiwanis and KCBS officials. First off, there's no licking of fingers. The judges first take a look at each entree, a plastic to-go tray filled with 6 taste-sized offerings. The scores range from 9, excellent, to 1, disqualification. Individual judges are not permitted to write a 1. We each had about 4 napkins, 1 bottle of water, and a few crackers. When all the entries had been viewed and scored for attractiveness, they were put on squares on a KCBS mat designed for the testing. In turn, each made the rounds and then to the mat in its own numbered section. Then it gets serious. With the first bite, the judges are asked to evaluate the taste and tenderness. A cracker bite and a sip of water goes after each taste. After each is scored, we ate the most appealing ones or took second tastes of others. They did not hurry us. 60 cookers competing in national and international events are here to face judgment, and every point matters. Saturday is the big day for the 60 who have been in competitions all over the world to showcase their masterpieces in the Barbecue Championship. Brenda Long and Jenny Bates are mainstays in the annual Kiwanis Club venture. Cookers also prepare an extra butt or loin for meals programmed by the International Kiwanis. Any revenues from the feat go towards scholarships and other community projects.
Hey everyone, this is Jeannie. I'm Brenda. We're at the High on the Hog. And we want you to come on out to the park, and we got a carnival going, and tonight we got free music by the lake featuring 4 Miles Gone. So everybody come on out. It's going to be a beautiful weather. Good time to ride the rides. Come on out to High on the Hog.
what do you guys think about High on the Hog so far?
So far, it's a fantastic experience.
A lot of fun. Good
Tons
family
of rides.
fun. Yeah, the rides.
Delicious food. E.T.'s barbecue is probably the best food out here.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah, top-notch barbecue. Just right off the bone, the meat just falls, and that flavor hits you home.
It feels like I'm a teenager again, which is pretty nice, because I'm a lot older than I look. And, I'm having fun. I'm here with my friends. We drove 2 hours to get here, so I feel like that's an accomplishment itself that I even made it that far.
So where are you coming from?
Nashville.
Nashville?
Yeah. And I'm really excited to eat this pork because it literally says the best pork in the world, so I'm
I was told
excited
it was the
about it.
best pork this side of the Mississippi, but we can see how it is.
I'm at the High on the Hog right now, and it's so fun. And I rode the ring of fire one day. I'm not riding it again.
Hi, I'm Olivia Hires with the Franklin County Buzz. We're out here tonight at the High on the Hog Carnival. Looking forward to this weekend. Don't forget the big barbecue contest this Saturday. The Franklin County Buzz is a proud sponsor of the High on the Hog Festival. Thank you so much.
What a gang. High on the Hog. This year would be the 30th year for the High on the Hog Festival. It's going to be a great big party for everyone. Let's introduce Linda Ayers right now with Mass Appeal. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Glad
It's
to be here.
not too early for you?
No,
No.
not in the fitness business. We get started
Okay, the fitness business. Mass Appeal has an open house coming up. What date is it, and tell us what it is?
It's January the 14th, which is this Saturday. The first class, our group fitness class, will be starting at 7:30, and we finish up with the last one at 11:30. So it's just kind of an open house for anybody who is interested maybe in looking at our facility, to come in, kind of get an idea of what we have to offer. And a lot of times people may be thinking about joining a facility, but they're a little intimidated. So we hope that this is going to be kind of a friendly atmosphere to come in, check us out, see what we're about. We kind of feel like we have something for anybody or everybody. We offer the fitness classes that include our cardio, like our RPM, which is a spin class, stationary bike, which is really good to work with the cardio. We have our body pump, which is going to be actually an hour long. The other classes are only a half hour, and that's because this is kind of an anniversary for the Les Mills program, which puts on the body pump. So it'll be an hour long, but you're welcome to just do a few of the tracks, part of the class, and then leave, or even watch the rest of it, and then go on to the next one.
I can do that.
We have Zumba, which is a Latin dance class, which is a lot of fun. We've got Body Combat, which is another cardio and a little bit of strength too, but it's kind of a kickboxing, a lot of punching, kicking, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But you don't do it with a person.
I gotcha.
It's sort of pretend, And then we finish up with our Body Flow, which is yoga, tai chi, and Pilates, and it's a great way to finish up a day of fitness. We'll have snacks all day long, to come out and enjoy. We're going to have door prizes in between the classes for anybody that comes in, and we won't. It's free. The whole day is free. Everything, just to come in and get a look at our facility and kind of see, like I said, what we have to offer. We also have a balance training demo. A lot of times as people get older, they begin to lose their balance. We've got a lady who's a personal trainer, and Karen Gardner, who's going to be doing a short demonstration of a class that she'll be offering then later and to come up. And then we have a TRX demo, which is suspension training, which is something that, as far as I know, we're the only ones in the area that offer, but it's using straps that you leverage your body weight. And
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a really great way to work out. It's safe, and we have classes in that, so there'll be a demo to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. If you might want to participate in classes then later on.
So from teens to elders, there's a specific program that...
Well, yeah. Anybody, we don't really have a children's program, but we do have anybody that's maybe 12 and up, that sort of thing, where they can participate, with the parents, or if it's something like is the RPM or whatever, we just have a little bit of a height level on just want to stay safe with it for
Right, of
anybody to come
course,
out and enjoy
yeah.
the facility and work out. So.
And the seniors, do you have a lot of seniors?
We have a lot of seniors. We have, of course, the Silver Sneakers program, which is the a lot of people's Medicare supplement actually pays for the gym membership. They have a card they swipe, and they come in and they have a full gym membership. Just with using this card, all they have to do is come use it, and we have classes specially designed. Those are our Silver Sneaker classes. We won't actually have demonstrations of those on our open house, but they can come in any day of the week. We have them 5 days a week, 5 mornings a week to find out about it.
So members, then you have hours that they can come in, or can they come in whenever they want if they've
we do have 24-hour access if you're a member, which is nice. You know, once you get your membership. Now the Silver Sneakers program, we do have a one-time charge for the key for $15 to provide 24-hour access. But then we have staffed hours, which are 8 to 1, 5 days a week, and then we reopen. We close for a couple hours and reopen at 3 o'clock and stay open till 8. On Fridays, we're open till 6:30, and then we open at Saturdays 7 to 12. Right now, I'm staying open between the 1 and 3 because it is kind of our busy season. So if you want to come join up during that time, just come on or check out the facility.
So busy season is winter time because it's cold out?
Partly because it's cold out, and part of January, new resolutions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
people
I
start
gotcha.
thinking about starting over, new beginnings, and so we want to, be there to help you if you're. The thing is, just don't be intimidated about coming into our facility. We have normal people, everybody. You don't think you're going to go in and everybody looks like they came off a GQ magazine or anything.
They might
We're
even
just
see
normal.
me there one day.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm the guy on the treadmill going 1.5 miles an hour.
That's okay, you're moving. The important thing is to just get moving, and we feel like we can assist them in safely getting moving and moving on then from there, adding a little more as you go. Sometimes, a lot of people come in with the idea they want to lose weight, but we try to focus a lot more on just feeling better and getting healthy and moving. And then once you make just a few changes with the moving, you're feeling better, you're encouraged, and they'll make dietary changes, which actually, is the main thing about losing weight. But
do doctors send people?
we do have a lot of doctors that'll recommend that they come in and check out our facility. Sometimes they even recommend like the personal training, which is great for me and our other personal trainers there. But we feel like we're there and qualified to take. It doesn't matter if what level of fitness you're at. We can accommodate and work from there where you're at.
Okay, and the 24 hours. You have a sauna there as well, do you not?
We do, which is great this time of year. It's really nice to get in there and get those muscles
soak
warmed up. Yeah.
Soak up that heat.
Yes.
And that's a dry heat.
It is, but they have the rock sauna, so you can put the water on there and and make it a wet sauna.
All right, and tell us where you are.
We are at 92 Bible Crossing Road. We're right across from the co-op over there. We've got a nice big sign up there with our logo. Pretty easy to find.
Right next door to Save a Lot.
Right next door to Save a Lot.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right.
And this
So
is the 5th year?
This will be our 5th annual open house, and it's also kind of a thank you to our existing members. We like to have all them, there to celebrate kind of with, and so it's a lot of fun actually. We do have a lot of fun that day.
So the activities planned for that day, are those kind of geared toward any level of interest?
They are
like a new to fitness.
Yes, because we do have the shorter class, and hey, you don't even have to just observe. If you sometimes just watching, you get motivated, you'll come back in.
Right.
Or just try, one of the maybe less intense classes, like our body flow. We kind of designed what goes on this Saturday to be a little bit less intense than what the regular class is, and it's also shorter. So it's a good one to start with. Or our RPM, you're pretty safe on the bike. There's not a whole lot you can hurt with that. So
I mean, this is a great way for people to come in. If you have no idea what Zumba is, you can
right. Oh, Zumba's a great one to start with too. It really is.
I actually
really
do
good.
that one. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it is fun. And we've got some great Zumba teachers, so it'll be a lot of fun.
So tell us the hours again of the day.
Okay, so it's going to start at 7:30. That's when our first class starts. If you want to, of course, the gym will be opening at 7, so you can come in anytime after 7, kind of take a look at everything. And the classes will run a half hour. You do want to either call and get your name on the group fitness class list or come in and get signed up, because the class sizes are limited, of course, with the number of stationary bikes we have and then the room in the actual group fitness room. So,
Well, let's give out the number right now, too. While
all right,
we're at it.
that's 967-5352.
Okay, 967-5352, and give Linda a call. Tell her you want to sign up for one of those classes. I wish you every bit of success. I hope you'll see me there.
Well,
I
do
won't be
too.
there at 7:30.
That's all right. You can come in at any point during that time.
That's good. Linda Ayers from Massillville, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll put all this information up on the Facebook page as well, so they can
great.
see it later.
Okay, and right now we're going to go to Winchester Airport. Happens the first Saturday of every month. In a minute.
The Experimental Aircraft Association Fly-In and Breakfast happens the first Saturday of every month at the Winchester Municipal Airport, rain or shine. It's a great day to take out the family, have a good breakfast, and watch the planes fly in from all over the area and surrounding states. On a good day, upwards of 100 airplanes can show. The event runs from 8 to 10 a.m. Dan Greason, the president of the 699th chapter of the EAA, tells us more.
We have this fly-in the first Saturday of each month. Of course, a lot of people are not real familiar with the Experimental Aircraft Association. It was developed to help people who wish to build their own plane. But in doing that, it's primarily an educational organization. And we here in sponsoring the breakfast have assistance from the Franklin County Band Boosters, so that we share in the profits of this event. We've had several aircraft built. Of course, they aren't built here. They're usually the components are built and then they assemble them here on the airport typically.
And here we are back again. So Winchester Airport, first Saturday of every month. There's I think it's a $5 breakfast.
It's a good
But
breakfast.
it's a good breakfast, and those pilots are crazy people. A lot of fun to be around.
They are. There's some really interesting planes that come in too. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
I got to see a Russian copy of a Ford Trimotor one time.
Wow.
That was just amazing. And that was good to have Linda Ayers here. Tell us about Mass Appeal.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a great free fitness event, especially if you've got your New
And-
Year resolution is to get fit.
Yeah, let's take a look at the weather before we come up to the magic hour here, top of the hour. And there it is. Well, it's still 21.
Yeah, refresh, Michael.
I'll take off my sweater about 2 months from now.
Yeah, I think it has to be a little bit warmer, but yeah, we should hit 44 probably around 2 o'clock today.
That's good. And no precipitation, although I gather there's some coming ahead. But
well, we were talking about the sunrise earlier this morning
Yes.
and asked for photos, and we actually had someone send us a photo in. I think Michael's going to
thank
pull
you
that
for
up for
sending
us.
the photo. Look at,
Yes,
wow, that's
and
beautiful.
in Estill Springs. And
Thank you very much for that picture. Yeah, if you've got photos that you want to send us or anything like that, info@franklincountybuzz.com. We are going to be here again a week from today, next Monday, 6 to 8 o'clock. We'll be doing similar things, weather, road reports. We'll try to get other people to come in here and tell us about their lives. We want to hear from you. Give us a call at 931-222-5388. And that will we'll put you on the air, and you can give us your 2 cents worth.
Right, and that was Susan Nash that sent us the
Thank
photo
you.
this morning. So thank you, Susan.
We want to thank all the people that take time out of their busy day to watch this.
Yes.
We hope we're giving you something worthwhile to use. And we also want to thank our sponsors. You see their crawler underneath from time to time. If you give them business, they give us business, and then we give you free
The news.
stuff. Free stuff.
And free stuff.
So anyhow, well, let's go up to the magic hour and get ready to. Here's our ad people below. If you've got some ideas for the show, send them to us. We want to be people oriented. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We rely on you all to help us out and let us know what's interesting to you, so that we can cover that.
And I get to announce the first birthday because I'm not related to him. Happy birthday, Mark Shang. And by the way, if you see this beautiful set behind us here, Mark built all that. It's just an amazing, talented man. And we thank you for your work, your perseverance, and best of all, your good humor.
And well, we have one more birthday. It's actually a belated birthday since we rescheduled our show from last Monday, January 5th, Cheryl Cox from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. So happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
And also send us your anniversaries so we can get all of that on the air.
Yeah, anniversary pictures. Yeah, we can use pictures. This is video. So, thank you everyone for being here with us this premiere show. I'm Dick Wolf, and my colleague here is Tina Shang, my partner.
Yes.
And she loves getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know you do.
I got up at 3:30.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for watching. A special thanks to Michael in the control room back there, making us look prettier than we really are. And so until next week, oh, there you are, Michael. Thank you. All right, Michael, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you.